So last lecture, we learned about the method signature. What is method signature? We can read the definition. Sorry. The mid-exam, no, the mid-exam will be on 20 seconds. The mid-exam will be 20 seconds. Okay? The mid-exam will be 20 seconds, but I just want to do the testing for the devices. Okay, so testing for the device. So I need to know that you prepare two devices, the camera 1 and camera 2, on Thursday. Okay, so 1 week before the exam, I would like to know that you already prepared those devices. Because if you cannot prepare on these days, I'm afraid that you will not be able to prepare your device on the exam day. Okay. So the exam will be on April 22nd. So I will post again on the e-class for the detail. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's get back to this class. The method. Okay. Method signature is the combination of method name and parameter list. So what is parameter? Parameter or arguments. We call it is a value that will be passed to the method. So the parameter should be defined according to the data type. So we have one example, test void method. So this is the example. So in this example, we need to go to the main method. You know that the first method that will be executed is the main method. And after we go to the main method, we see here there is one method which is print grade. We want to access this method print grade. What is print grade? Here is the print grade, and then we have one parameter. This is the parameter, or this is the argument, and this value is a double value. So you can see this is a double, and then the value 78.5 will be saved into the variable score. Okay. And after we save into the variable score, we will check. So score is less than 0 or score is greater than 100. If the condition is true, then let's print invalid score. And then return means we just finish the statement. We just finish this method without processing the next step. So it means we just stop. Okay. If you understand about break, okay, the break is for the loop. Okay. But here we will learn later return. This is for a method. Now we know that if the score is less than 0 and if the score is greater than 100, it is invalid. So if it is in between 0 until 100, then we will do the next. The next will be the condition. So if the score is greater than equal to 90, we print A. If the score is greater than 80, then we will print B. If the score is greater than 70, we will print C, and so on. So if you run this code, then you will get C. Why? 78.5 is here. It is greater than 70 but it is less than 80. So the grade is C. You can try with any numbers. For example, I change to 780.5. So the result will be invalid score. Or if you want to check minus, for example, okay, then it is also invalid. Then we know this is the argument that will go to the variable score as per the definition. It is a double. So we call this is the argument or the parameter. So we will learn more about this one. Let's see one example about methods with one parameter. If the method contains one parameter, for example, this one, now we see that the parameter should be in a string. Okay. So the message here is a variable representing the data type string. And then we have a for loop. And then I will start from 0. And then I less than 3 and I plus plus. So from this statement, I can see that, okay, we will do like 2 times, 3 times, okay? When I equals to 0, when I equals to 1, and when I equals to 2. So when I equals to 3, we will stop. So suppose you invoke the method using and print line, welcome to Java. Okay, and print line. This is the name of the method. Okay, you can see the name here is the same. Now, if I run this statement and print line, and then I have one parameter or one argument, what is the output? So what is the output? So this kind of question will be the question in the mid exam for the first section. So there will be no Eclipse. So you will not use Eclipse, but you need to figure out what will be the result of this one. Okay, I know that we have the end print line, welcome to Java. And then whenever the welcome to Java enter to this variable, we will go to the loop I from 0 until I less than, I think until I is greater than 3. Okay. Okay. Almost right. Okay. Because we have 0 and then we have 1 and then we have 2. Then it means we have 3 times. So there will be 3 times of welcome to Java. So welcome to Java, welcome to Java, welcome to Java, 3 times. Okay, that's the correct answer. And if I want to invoke, so invoke means I want to execute and print line computer science. So the computer science is a string and it is the parameter or the argument for the message. And then again, we will see that it is a for loop from 0 until 3. Then, yeah, we will print computer science for 3 times. Okay, computer science, and computer science. Okay, correct. Jong Soo Hee. So we will print 3 times. So let's take a look on the method with one parameter 0, 1. So I give the example exactly the same with the PowerPoint, and you can run. And you can see if I do this and print line welcome to Java, we will print welcome to Java for 3 times. And if I do this one with computer science as a string, so the computer science will be printed for 3 times. Okay, because this is one parameter. Okay? One parameter in the method. What about if we have another example with more complex, like we want to get the input and etc. So I give you the example method with one parameter 02. Now this example is more complicated. I guess you already know about this kind of question. Yeah, as I remember in the exercise 3 in Gurum, at the time I didn't explain about while loop, but many of you answer the exercise with while. So I think most of you already know Java, so you answer with while. Yeah, basically I don't mind with your answers, but in the mid exam, I will give you the proper problem. So you need to solve with the exact solution according to the problem. Okay. So in this case, yeah, if I ask you to answer this problem with method, then you need to build at least one method. So in this case, I want to use one method, print the name, and then it is a static void. So this method will have one parameter, which is a string, and the string name is n. Okay. You can see here from the first line in the main method, we have a scanner. So it means we want to get the input from the user. And then the string name starts with blank. So we want to do the loop. We want to repeat until the name equals to exit. What does it mean? There is one not compute. Okay. What is this not compute? You know what is this not compute? This exclamatory sign? Not. Okay. That's correct. So we have this statement. Okay. If it is true, then we will just do the looping. But we have this one, not. So if this is not exit, keep looping. Okay. So if the name is any value and the value is not exit, yeah, you can just input anything. So input your name, then you will print something, and then print the name. And then when you go to this method, print the name. If okay, we have another. If n dot equals ignore case exit, and then we have one not compute again. So it means if it is not exit, we will print okay. The name will be printed with the next statement is a good name. After we finish this one, then it will return back here and then check whether the name is exit or not. If it is not exit, then again do repetition until the user input exit. So you can try input your name. Ferraro. Okay, Ferraro is a good name. For example, my last name. Yahya. Okay, Yahya is also a good name. Good. For example, Huff. Oh, Huff is a good name. Okay. So this will be a loop until you type exit. And the last statement will be thank you. Okay. The next, we need to understand that the parameter can be more than one. If the parameter is one, yeah, you can specify just one. But if the parameters is more than one, you can separate the parameters with comma. So the parameters can be more than one, and it depends on the data type. So you can have string and string, you can have string and integer, you can have string and double, you can have integer and integer, you can have double, and so on. Okay. So in this case, I would like to use the same method name and print line. And then there are two parameters. So the first parameter is string, and the variable name or the parameter name will be message. And the other parameter will be integer, and the parameter name is n. Now, you can see we will do the loop again, but what is n here? So this n will be depending on the value that you inserted here. So in this case, if you are giving the statement n print line, welcome to Java 3. So welcome to Java is a string. It will go to the first parameter. What about 3? It will go to the second parameter. After we know that message equal to welcome to Java and n equals to 3, run this statement. What is this statement? The statement is to do the loop, and we will do until n times. Okay, what is n? We know that n equals to 3, so it will run until 3. And then we will print message. So the welcome to Java will be printed for 3 times. Now, what happened with this one? It means 7 will be the n. And computer science, or this is the string, will be the message. Okay. And when you do the loop, n will be 7. We will print the message, which is the computer science, for 7 times. Okay. So this method is something that flexible according to the parameter that you want to use. Let's see the example method with one parameter. Oh, this is not the method with one parameter. Oh, method with multi-parameter 02. Okay. Method with multi-parameter 01 and 02. Okay. So here you already know when we have one parameter message, welcome to Java, so it will go to this first parameter. And then 3, it will go to the second parameter, which is the integer. And then n will go to this limit for the loop, and then message will be the string to be printed. So if you run, you will see that welcome to Java is printed 3 times, and the computer science is printed 7 times. So this sequence should be in the order. It means we know that the parameter starts with string and then integer. So you cannot change. For example, you want to change 3 and welcome to Java, like this one. So it is not allowed. It will go to error. So this alternative solution is swap the argument, because your method have two parameters, and the first parameter is string and the second parameter is integer. Okay. Let's see the multi-parameter number 2. Okay, so this is following the previous code. We are using two parameter for printing the name. Yeah, we have the same like this, input, and then name starts with the blank, and then batch, and batch means in what year are you. So if you are now in 2021, so it means, yeah, you can input 2021. So the name, you can input it into the variable name, and then your batch or your year or year you enter the university will be the value in the batch. So you will print the name and the batch. So name is a string and batch will be integer. So you need to see here, when you define a value or when you define a variable for the input, so this batch, it can be in this batch. But if you change this one, let's say BAT, for example, okay, so you can keep using this one, okay, even though the name is different, but if it is the same data type, we know that BAD is integer. BAD is integer and BAD is integer, and the print the name method contain the integer for the parameter, then there will be no problem. So we will print the same as before. The name is a good name and you are in the batch of some year. And then the same with the previous one. If you type exit and the exit is in the name, then it will stop. So for example, Bernardo, I'm in the batch is 2021. Okay, Bernardo is a good name in the batch of 2021. Or I can say, for example, Yahya and 2020. Yahya is a good name in the year, in the batch of 2020. And then you can input exit. Why this happens? Why it does not stop? Because this input is for the name, and then we still go to the next line. We still go to the next statement, and this statement is to get the input. And it is still not the condition to check about this exit. So that's why if you do this one, maybe you need to input first 2000 and then it will stop. Okay. So sometimes you need to modify in order to fit with your requirement. Okay. So what is static method with void? So we learned the first method. Okay. We learn with the method, call method here. We have the static void method. So there is no return value, and there is no parameter like this one, so we can just use the void method. Okay, this is the static void method. What is a method with one parameter? So the argument or this parameter contain one variable, and if it is a method with many parameters, then it contains more than one. So it can be string with string, can be string with integer, it can be double and so on. And you need to define the data type in the parentheses. So the number of the parameters, we don't know. Of course, if you have many parameters, it will be more complicated. So it depends on the problem that you want to define. Okay, any questions, comments? So I will discuss more about the static methods with data types with written values on Thursday. Okay, so I guess now is most of the time for the quiz. You can prepare yourself for quiz.